and the number 8 Yamaha, Steve Hislop on pole position there. Alongside him, Reynolds. Then it's Neil Hodgson, number 4, and Chris Walker completing the front row on the Suzuki. And it is indeed Chris Walker, the number 2 Suzuki rider, who gets the drop. We're looking backwards now from Steve Hislop. The number 6 there, Sean Emmett. There's Neil Hodgson, number 4, on the INS Ducati. Reynolds also and Hayden got great starts, but Chris Walker, the stalker as they call him, leads. Away they go down towards the old hairpin, into the right-hander. Right on his tail, though, is Steve Hislop, who was so unbelievably quick round here in practice. Hislop has really set the MB4U.com British Superbike Championship for the year 2000 alight, and he's doing it again. Through on the inside of Chris Walker goes Steve Hislop. He is tucked in. I've never seen Hislop looking fitter and more focused, and that incredibly sharp haircut makes him look pretty mean.
On board now with Steve Hislop looking backwards, and you see Chris Walker coming into view. That's because Hislop is ahead. Now Hislop needs to be ahead of the gaggle behind him. Hislop likes to ride, he likes to lead from the front. He's at his best when he doesn't have to brush shoulders with anybody. So this is an ideal position for Steve Hislop at the start of this race.
Hislop, now 37 years of age, the TT veteran Hislop, but he's having something of a renaissance now and going really well at the Melbourne Loop. But Walker's still in second place. Number 3 on the Ducati, John Reynolds, championship leader so far in the very early stages. And let me tell you, after this whole series is over, they will have raced 850 miles of very hectic pace, and there will emerge a champion. Reynolds wants to be champion. He won it in 1992. He would love to do it again. On the right there, number 5, James Hayden, going inside and making a super passing move on Neil Hodgson. Neil Hodgson, another one of the front row men, but it's Hayden moving through. Ducati versus Ducati. Away they go down towards the Melbourne Loop. Hodgson on the right-hand side of your picture. Hayden scythes across the front. Is he going to go wide? Can Neil Hodgson get the drive out of there, Roger?
Now back at the front, and it's Steve Hislop on bike number 8, from Walker getting it sideways there into Fogarty's on bike number 2, and in close proximity now is JR, John Reynolds on bike number 3, closely followed by Hodgson on number 4.
The number 3 Ducati rider, look at the rear end of Chris Walker, backing the bike in. He went a little bit wide there because he was going down the gearbox, too much rear brake. The rear end broke traction, but that's the way Chris prefers to ride. New race leader, John Reynolds, number 3. Both local men, both Reynolds and Walker, live just up the road in Nottingham. Family man Reynolds knows his way around here like his own back garden. He is going well now, Reynolds, but look again at Hodgson on the inside. Up to 3rd goes Neil Hodgson on the orange Ducati. Yes, he's got the better of Steve Hislop, and slotting in now behind Chris Walker as they head off down Craner Curves.
On board now with Steve Hislop looking backwards. Now Hislop must have made some sort of mistake here. You can see Walker coming alongside him. Now you can see the acceleration of John Reynolds, and John Reynolds on bike 3 goes past. Now this is looking backwards again from Hislop, and Hodgson up the inside, so that made Hodgson up into 3rd place, and you can see now from the pictures that Reynolds is slightly stretching an advantage.
A yellow flag is out. There's a rider somewhere with a problem. The yellow flag is out. That means ride with caution, and you must not overtake under a yellow flag. Again, that rear wheel action from Chris Walker. Down into the Melbourne hairpin. The Suzuki sliding all over the track with the rear end. But why was the flag? That's why the flag was out. Hislop, number 8, Steve Hislop, has parked the Yamaha. He's shaking his head. We're puzzled. He clearly is puzzled. Roger, something mechanical?
Must be something mechanical. There was no crash damage there to the bike, and none to Steve Hislop either. But look at Hodgson. Hodgson's the man on the move. Not only has he set the fastest lap of the race so far, he's not settled for 3rd at all. He's past Walker now. The back ends of those bikes squirming as they go right-handed through Craner Curves. 120 miles an hour through there before going left-handed. Up with the engine revs at 130 miles an hour, back 2 gears for the old hairpin. 90 miles an hour through there. Hodgson now has to work really hard to catch John Reynolds.
Mackenzie then up into 5th place. His teammate number 4, Neil Hodgson, is well ahead of him, but Mackenzie now having a good ride, and the more and more track miles he gets under his belt on the Ducati, the more settled Neil Mackenzie will become on the machine.
And there's Hodgson just come through the picture. Can Walker catch Hodgson?
Number 2, Chris Walker, is indeed the crowd's favourite. He has finished 3 times in this championship, but he will not finish this race. There is a lot of smoke. You can see it yourself. Walker has blown the Suzuki, and with it, he has blown any chance of lifting points in round 3 here at Donington Park, because that bike is going nowhere. And he better get off the racing line, because almost certainly it'll be throwing oil. Well done, Chris. Park it on the grass. Number 77, Brent Sampson, one of the tail-enders about to be lapped, but Brent Sampson, the man from Plymouth, a very able privateer performer, and he goes well in this series.
Of course, the privateers within this race are signified by a yellow front number plate, so you can see that we've got 2 yellow front number plates there. Hodgson just about to exit the Melbourne Loop and chase after this man, John Reynolds, so the yellow number plate signifies a privateer.
Into Goddard's, hard on the front brake going in, down 3 gears on the Ducati. He'll boom out towards the line, a huge wheelie. The checkered flag is out, and after 19 laps of Donington Park, round 3 goes to number 3, John Reynolds. And John has every reason to be delighted, because that is the team's 3rd and his 2nd win of the new season. And there's the confirmation. Top 4 places taken by Ducati, Hodgson, Hayden and Mackenzie filling the other 3 slots. Top privateer, John Crockford on the Suzuki. 2 races on each of the events, of course, during the Superbike Championship in the year 2000. Each race will yield 25 points, so potentially 50 points up for grabs. And of course, Chris Walker yielded 0, but he's going for it this time. Walker again in front on the number 2 Suzuki. Similarly, number 8 Steve Hislop, the pole position man, yielded 0. So it's John Reynolds, the number 3 Ducati, who got the big points and the big money in round 3. This is round 4, 19 laps, 47.5 miles. Away they go again, and it's Chris Walker, number 2. Right with him, though, has gone Hodgson on the orange Ducati. Number 4, the INS GSE Ducati of Neil Hodgson, the young lad from Burnley, 25 years of age, who is now based in the Isle of Man. He is sitting in 2nd place, anxious, in fact determined to go one better this time. It's Hislop on the red Yamaha, the number 8 Yamaha in 3rd. But in the sunshine here, it's Chris Walker leading. John Reynolds on the number 3 Ducati in 4th place. With him his teammate, number 5 in 5th, James Hayden. Walker leads as they flick it through the S's. Walker with Hodgson oh so close.
Well, Chris Walker there made a mistake. He went very wide on the entry point of the S's, and I suspect we'll see Hodgson pass Walker down here into the Melbourne Loop. And as I speak, we do, and almost Hislop got past then on bike number 8. So they're all bunching up nicely now at the front. And the good news is that the top 5 guys were the top 5 in qualifying, and any one of these could win.
Well, the result a year ago here at Donington Park was a win for Reynolds. Hayden was 2nd on that occasion. Hodgson was 3rd. Walker was 4th. And of course, Chris Walker, 3 times he's been 2nd in this championship. And really that elusive victory in the championship must be his this year. That's the way he'll be thinking. He had the opportunity to go to World Superbike, he turned it down. He accepted the Suzuki deal, and he's sitting in 2nd place at the moment. But Neil Hodgson, a man with vast World Superbike and Grand Prix experience at the tender age, and another fastest lap for Neil Hodgson. So he's on the charge, settled in, 2nd year on the Ducati for Hodgson. He knows his way around Donington. He won 125 championship races here, had a very good Grand Prix performance here, and he knows the track intimately.
The formula for these super bikes is that these bikes, for all intents and purposes, are road-going bikes that you can buy from the dealer's showroom. They have hotted-up parts in them, kits, wheels are changed, tyres are changed, but the configuration of these bikes are that you can buy in the showroom. The manufacturers see this as a very, very important championship, and thus the popularity is there. The depth of field is immense. We've got 12 factory bikes out on the grid, and the level of performance from these bikes is World Superbike level. In fact, the bike leading the race, bike number 4 of Neil Hodgson's, is the same bike that Fogarty won the World Championship on last year.
And that's underlined by the fact that Steve Hislop's pole position time round here, unbelievably quick, 1:33.25. And if I remind you that Kevin Schwantz's Grand Prix lap record round here only fell in 1997 to Michael Doohan. Doohan went round in the 32s, but prior to that, Schwantz was circulating no faster than Steve Hislop did pole position. And the man who's going really quick, it's Walker, through on the inside of Hodgson now. He is determined to get that Suzuki in front and stay there. Hodgson, though, riding with all the maturity of a seasoned campaigner, which of course he is. He rides motocross to keep fit in the winter with his resident in the Isle of Man, fellow resident Steve Hislop. They go out on motocross bikes. The factory bosses aren't too keen about that in case they hurt themselves, but it certainly is a way of staying fit. John Reynolds, the man in third place, number 3, an ex-motocross rider, a very good factory Kawasaki motocross rider. Oh, Chris Walker, a foot out of line on the Suzuki, in on the back brake, but he loves riding it that way. Maybe hard on the machinery, maybe hard on the tyres, but the riders behind will have seen that. Fourth place, James Hayden, number 5, has made a move on Neil Hodgson and has got his Ducati up into third place. So it's Suzuki leading, Ducati in second, Ducati in third, Ducati in fourth, and then the Yamaha of Steve Hislop in fifth. There's the man. From Berkhamsted, James Hayden. His father was a doctor, I believe, retired now. James Hayden's father, but father and mother are here. They intend to be at every single round watching James, and he is a bright talent still at a very tender age, an awful lot to offer, and that's why Ben Atkins of the Revy Racing team snapped up James Hayden at the end of the 1999 season. He's riding shotgun to his teammate John Reynolds, number 3. Hodgson there taking another look. Hislop has wound them in. You could get a fishing net over the 5 of them. They are so close as they go down towards the Melbourne hairpin. Watch the rear end in the air again of Chris Walker's Suzuki, and locking up the back wheel, backing the bike in, and Hislop poised here to fire the Yamaha, maybe past Hodgson. Watch Hayden though. Hayden in third. Chris Walker fully aware there is a battle raging behind him. It's anybody's race, Roger.
When the teams want to test the braking efficiency of their bikes, they all come to test at Donington Park. Now, James Hayden is very, very good on the brakes. The Ducati brakes are proven. I'd imagine it's going to be somewhere on the brakes, probably into Redgate or into Fogarty's.
It's a bright blue sky now here at Donington. The clouds have gone away. Still a stiff breeze though, but it's a bright blue Suzuki leading the race. Chris Walker, 12 seconds back now in 6th place is Neil Mackenzie. The caption telling the story, but hunting Walker down is number 5, James Hayden. Very similar crash helmets, the fluorescent yellow and the red of Walker. Was that a tail ender in front? Are they going to be able to get past the tail ender? Right on the tarmac there, hopping the knee up over the red and white curve on the inside of the track, up to Coppice, the double apex right-hander, and here now, Hayden needs to get the power on as hard. Oh, and he got the power on in a big way. He high-sided it. The Ducati spat him on miraculously. James Hayden, okay, collects himself in a cloud of dust. That was a big one at a very fast part of the circuit. Closing stages of the last lap, and it's a tooth and nail scrap now for second place. Hodgson versus Reynolds. Reynolds on the inside at Coppice. Is he going to be able to hold it and stay tight? Heeling the Ducati over. Can Hodgson get the drive out of here? Chris Walker's heading for the flag in pretty spectacular fashion. Reynolds gets second. Number 3 Reynolds. Number 4 Hodgson gets third. But the race victory in round 4 goes to that man, Chris Walker, and what a blistering ride it was. So 25 points go to Chris Walker, but some way it compensates for what he didn't score in round 3, but he'll be well aware that John Reynolds, who chased him all the way to the flag, has amassed a bag full of points here at Donington Park. Hodgson, Hislop got 4th, Mackenzie 5th, a good ride. Rutter and Young scored there in 9th and 10th, and again top privateer John Crockford. So 83 points, Reynolds leads the championship from Hodgson, Walker, 2 Ducatis and a Suzuki. What a great championship we have ahead.